Let's go to Mike in Washington Township. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing, man? Been a fan for over 55 years. Thrilled they're going to the championship game again. But I don't understand how you can have this love for Jalen. He's been bad for 8 quarters.
Well, I'm in the NFC Championship game.
Hold the ball. Because the 52-man roster is so much better than the other team's 52-man roster.
Well, he's the quarterback, and quarterbacks have a huge role in the outcome of games.
Not in this one.
No, he does.
He didn't.
No, yes, he did. He had a 44-yard. He had a 44-yard. He had a 44-yard touchdown run to start the game.
Yeah, but he's not a running back. He's a quarterback.
Correct. And he scored a touchdown by running at 44 yards.
I understand that.
Yeah, he's in the NFC Championship game.
You were happy with his quarterback play yesterday?
I believe he did not turn the ball over and helped you win the game.
Not my question.
Okay, what's your question?
Were you happy with how he played yesterday?
I wasn't mad.
I don't think you're looking at it right. He was
terrible. I mean, I'm in an NFC Championship game for 2 out of 3 years with him being the quarterback.
Yeah, because they got to play the Giants and a 49ers team without a quarterback, and they got to play a very bad Packers team and a not very good Rams team. But
Jalen wins every game, baby. Every game.
I'm not saying he doesn't win. That's not the issue.
If all he does is win, then why are you complaining about him?
Because he was terrible.
Well, he won the football game.
That's not the sole issue.
Then what's the issue?
When they need it, when is he going to be good?
When that, he wins. When this happens,
you're being totally foolish.
How am I? He's in an NFC Championship game again.
Not because of him.
No, false. You're a quarterback. You cannot be a quarterback of an NFL football team, make it through 18, 19 games, and not have a part of it if you're getting every single snap.
So Trent Dilfer had anything to do with that team winning the Super Bowl?
Yes, he's the quarterback of the football team.
Trent Dilfer helped
and by the way, the one example you could bring up is that's the only example in NFL history that you could bring up.
Okay, when he wins the Super Bowl, I'll change it. And it doesn't even matter. I'm rooting for him.
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. You're not rooting for him.
Oh, I'm definitely rooting for him.
You're definitely not. You're not rooting for him.
I'm 100%
because all you're doing is saying that he sucks all day. You don't see any positives he brings to the table. So you clearly have a.
I never said that. I never said there were no positives. I said he's been bad for 8 quarters, and you're ignoring it.
Well, no, because he hasn't been.
Sure he has.
He hasn't been.
You have eagle glasses on. He's been terrible.
No, he hasn't been terrible. You can't win in the playoffs with terrible quarterback play for 8 quarters.
You can.
No, you can't. Because that means he wasn't as bad as what you're saying.
No, he's been terrible.
No, he hasn't been terrible.
Yeah, sure he has.
How many interceptions did Jordan Love throw? How many interceptions did Jordan Love throw?
I didn't say.
How many interceptions did Jordan Love throw?
Being better than Jordan Love was that game doesn't mean you were good.
Come on, man. In the playoffs, he had 0 interceptions against Green Bay. That is just as
important. So that's the bar.
Yes, because go look at Jared Goff, go look at the Ravens, go look at Justin Herbert, go look at every single quarterback, the Rams. Every single quarterback who constantly turn the football over in their playoff games are sending their ass back home because that is insanely crucial to winning in the postseason, and Jalen doesn't turn it over. So yes, the bar in the playoffs is part of the bar is do not turn the football over, and you will be in a great position to win in our quarterback.
When you're the better team. When you're the better team.
But that's this team. That's this team. So we have a formula that is elite and the best in the NFC, and you're not accepting it.
I'm not accepting bad quarterback play.
Well, we don't have bad quarterback play, so you don't got to worry about it, Mike. We don't have bad quarterback play. You can't win with bad quarterback play. You can't win. Can't win with bad quarterback play. You wouldn't be here if you had bad quarterback play for 8 quarters. That's silly. Was he perfect? No. Did he take some sacks? Yup. Bad quarterback play? Nah, you can't win with bad quarterback play. Not in a game like this. Sloppy game, 44-yard touchdown run to the house. Oh, but he can't run. What? We can't value his running? That's his style. So you don't like the way he does it. You're not rooting for him. You don't like the way he does it. Okay? That's how he does it. That's not the quarterback you're looking for. I don't give a damn about what you're looking for. I'm telling you the reality of it. Welcome in, everybody. It's Brodes in for Jon Johnson on this MLK Day. I mean, I got to be honest with you. Normally when I do these shifts, I try and find a few hours to sleep beforehand. I tried. I tried. I stared at the ceiling for a good 3-4 hours. And then, of course, I grabbed my phone and watched Saquon Barkley highlights, Jalen Carter highlights, Nolan Smith highlights. You name it. Darius Slay pass breakup highlights. I couldn't stop. This team is incredible. I want you all to know that it doesn't matter how it looks. Because for about, 16 weeks now, if not more, I keep hearing, if it looks this way next week, they're not going to win. If they do this next week, they're not going to win. If they do that next week, they're not going to win. Let me tell you something for free. They're going to win. They're a phenomenal football team. They're a special football team. They're always going to win. The phone number to jump in, 215-592-9494. Talk to me, all right? How was your experience? How are you feeling on this Monday morning after an NFC Championship game berth where you are going to be hosting the Washington Commanders? But it's not about that. We'll get to that as the week continues. It's a game against the Rams where the expectation with the snow was just find a way. And you had so many men, specifically on the defense, truly step up in that second half. I saw a Zach Bond drive. I saw Jalen Carter force a fumble. I watched Rodgers scoop the ball up and have a solid return. And look, I have a long list of potential deadly mistakes that happened, but it doesn't matter. Because when you have a special group, you get it done. You find a way. And Saquon Barkley, after going for 250-plus yards the last time these two teams met, he was able to whip up a 200-plus yard effort in the snow. And I tried to ask the question all throughout the week leading up to this game about how will the Rams stop that? Because it's not as if Saquon isn't on the team anymore. What he was able to do in L.A., he's going to be able to do again in this divisional round. I made it very clear. We are greater than them. I've only been screaming it for the last 2 playoff games that we are better than them. And that's what we witnessed again. You had Burke slide in there. He had a pass breakup. Ojomo had a sack. Jalix Hunt made a play. No Quinyon Mitchell. That was a massive loss. There were so many guys that stepped up when you needed to outside of the big dogs. This group is special. And we're going to highlight this all show long. So be prepared. It doesn't matter how it looks. All this team does is win, 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 win. And by the way, they win 28-22. Wow. Wow. All right, let's listen to Merrill Reese. All right, because there's 2 pieces of audio I want you to take a listen to, and then we'll run the phones, 215-592-9494. It's obviously going to be a very heavy reaction. We'll get into the Jalen Hurts angle, but I want you to talk to me here. I want you to talk me through your experience through this very up and down emotional roller coaster, because that's exactly what it was. So the first piece of audio, let's listen to the 78-yard touchdown run from Saquon Barkley to the house. Here's how it sounded on the airwaves.
Hurts in the gun on first down. He goes to Barkley. He breaks a tackle. He's on his way. Here he goes. He's at the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Saquon Barkley, 78 yards. That'll lock it up.
Boy, he is a special football player.
Yes, he is, Mike Quick. The way he was running to the end zone and he was smashing his hands on his helmet in excitement, and I'm sure the visual of the snow falling and the crowd erupting and everybody going bonkers and the noise that was being generated from 60,000 fans, I could only imagine what that was like with the few minutes left in the game, not knowing what was going to transpire after, of course, because, yes, it did get a little bit sweaty there. But, man, what a run from Saquon Barkley. This guy is unstoppable, and I love watching Giants fans cry nonstop every time.
This is really...
Yeah.
I got to play one to show. That's it. That's one time.
That's okay. We could play that a lot more. That's every Giants fan watching this team just beat up on every single opponent. It's incredible. So that, of course, was one of my favorites of the game. And another one is Jalen Carter with the game on the line, making the gotta-have-it play. Here's Jalen Carter with a monster sack in the fourth.
Third down. Back again. They got him. They sack him. It's Carter, Jalen Carter.
Can't block him.
Can't block him. You're so right. You can't block him. The only thing that is troubling is Jake Elliott with the extra points. He did come up clutch with those field goals, but because of how the Rams had a chance and because of Matthew Stafford being able to hit Puka on a crazy play downfield, which helped flip the field, and you missed those 2 extra points, which could have been the difference in the Rams squeezing out a victory or not, I don't think Jake Elliott is going to get the love that he would have had if it was just about those field goals in the weird environment, because that was Mother Nature toying with us for sure. The first half, we were almost all anticipating the chaos, and then the second half happens, and the snow started to stick onto the field, and then it became the true Snow Bowl, and that's when it became a beautiful sight, and now you can enjoy it a lot more because even if there were some dropped passes or there were some things that the elements caused to happen out there, you got the dub. And when you get the dub in a situation like that, then it's a lot easier to kind of digest it. All right, 215-592-9494. I am so happy. I am so excited. I'm not trying to downplay that Green Bay Packers playoff game or anybody who was in attendance by any means, because this is no knock on people who went to that one. But this one felt different. This one just felt different. Watching from home, there was a moment where I started to sob a little bit. It was when Rodgers picked up that ball and they were able to force that one fumble and Rodgers takes it back a little bit. That one, I'm like, oh man, this is happening. This is happening. And I started to feel feelings that just brought me back to when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, when you just watch through a different lens, when you're growing up and truly experiencing sports for the love of the game and not knowing what all the other stuff means surrounding it. It's just the pure beauty of the sport. And it took me back to those times realizing, wow, this Eagles team, man, they are just built from top to bottom in a very sensational way. Howie Roseman jumping up on the sidelines, screaming, jumping, hugging people, high-fiving all sorts of staff members. There is something special about this organization. Do not take it for granted. Even through some of the Jalen Hurts struggles, even through some of the sacks that he can't take, which forces them out of field goal range, I want you to know he had no turnovers. You know who did? Matthew Stafford and their running back. You know who did? The Baltimore Ravens. Okay? You know who did? Jared Goff. You know who lost this weekend? Jared Goff, the Baltimore Ravens, the Los Angeles Rams. Not turning the ball over is just as important as anything else that this team does when they win football games. For the third straight week, I'm going to scream that into this microphone. And remember, it doesn't matter how it looks, because they have won at such a large elite clip that speaks for itself. Let's go to the phones. Let's react. Can't wait to talk to you all on this beautiful Monday morning. 215-592-9494. Let's go to Dylan in Newcastle. What's up, Dill?
Hey, Brodes, can I say something real fast?
Of course.
We're going to the NFC Championship game!
That's right. Not only are we going to it, we're hosting it, baby. And that's a big difference maker when you got to come to the link. Everyone downplays it, Dale, that, oh, yeah, I'm sure it's loud in there. And Verse was talking his smack and more on that later on. But reality is when you are here and when you're in those four quarters and you're on the road against this Philly crowd, it makes a significant impact. And you saw it the last 2 weeks.
Brodes, I am absolutely hyped. I am absolutely beside myself. I hope I'm not the only one that feels this way. Brodes, I am ready to run through a wall. Look, just real quick, I'm sure you watched this game. I'm sure 90% of the people listening, obviously, 100% of the people listening watched this game. They had Eric Dickerson against Brian Dawkins in the hype video, quote unquote. How are you not getting ready to run through your TV with Brian Dawkins, talking to the fan base on your TV? Brodes, oh my God, I am so ready to go. I am so ready to host these Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
I am so ready to prove that the Philadelphia Eagles are the real deal. Everybody, including still now this week and probably for the week coming, are saying that the Eagles can't do it. Oh, my God, it just feels so freaking good.
It does.
Brodes.
Yeah.
God, it just feels so good, and I'm so hyped. Oh,
I know.
my God. I know it's 2 a.m, and I have all this energy right now, but it's been this energy for the past almost 12 hours. Oh, my God, Brodes, you need to calm me down. Help me wrap in my emotions right now.
Well, listen.
Tell me that I'm not the only one.
You're not
who's feeling this way.
You're not the only one feeling this way, and I appreciate the call, Dill. Honestly, I'm probably the last person you should call upon.
I was going to say.
When you need to be chilled out, because I'll only maximize your obnoxiousness as much as humanly possible. But I get that feeling. When the game was getting started, maybe even a half hour before, 45 minutes before, I had adrenaline pumping. This game just felt different to me, and I don't want to downplay what the wild card game meant, but I think once you get to the divisional round, it kicks it into gear, a different mode, and I had to kind of block out the day and make sure I had stuff to do, because if I didn't, I'd be sitting around with my knees bouncing. I'd have restless legs. I'd be walking around the house aimlessly without anything to do, and I'd be driving myself nuts. So to your point, Dylan, I am on 1,000. I was on 1,000 all day. I went food shopping just to get out of the house. Okay, I went to the gym and did a pump. And when you do a pump, upper body day, baby, on a day where the Birds take the field, you just have that extra little how do you do?
That's your New Year's resolution, right? You're getting back in the gym?
That's right.
I'm proud of you.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm on week 3. I've done week 1. We did 5 days. Week 2, we did 5 days. And then Sunday, this morning, was day 1 of the 3rd week.
Okay. Well, Eagles get to the Super Bowl. That's what, it's what, like
a couple weeks. What? 3 more weeks
I'm
from now. Trying to do math.
Yeah, like what's 5 months? You got to do 5. As far as the Eagles go, that's how far you at least need to go.
No, how did you get 5 months?
Well, September. We'll include training
the season.
camp.
Yeah. I ain't stopping.
Okay, I'll just keep you in check.
I know you are, and I do respect that, and I can't thank you enough for that. You've said that before.
Accountability.
Accountability's huge here on these airwaves. We know that. But I'm not going anywhere, and neither are these Birds. We're going to the NFC Championship game. All right, let's get to Jalen. Jalen. He took sacks that are unacceptable. I must say, though, in the 4th quarter, after getting banged up, where his body was almost snapped in half with one of those tackles, and he was clearly limited with his mobility, I think he made some important throws. I don't like that 2nd down call when the Rams got the final crack at it right around the 2-minute warning, and they tried to get cute and creative. I obviously don't like the safety. Those two, there were a few plays from Jalen that are unacceptable. I'm being very honest about that, unacceptable. But on 4th and 4, you hit A.J. Brown on a nice slant. You got to have it. You get it. What Jalen Hurts does sometimes is, especially in those elements, I thought they got to move in left, they got to move in right with the running game as well. And it was a simple maybe 3 or 4 yard pass to Goddard, or 3 or 4 yard pass to AJ, or 3 or 4 yard pass to maybe a Devontae Smith. And it's not the most flashy thing in the world, but they did do enough. And he was there putting the ball on the money after getting banged up, after being injured, after being in the blue tent for a while and getting something wrapped up on his leg. Jalen did enough in the end when the other team was constantly turning the ball over with wild weather elements. I can't lose sight of that. And when it's all said and done, it's another game where your football team lived with the unbelievable defense setting the tone, your unbelievable running game being a monster, and then Jalen Hurts playing his role too. Did not turn the football over. What do you know? That recipe, it's constant winning. That recipe right there. Defense being a juggernaut, run game being the best we've seen, Jalen Hurts not turning the ball over. When we get those three things, we win a lot of football games. And it's hard to do it in the playoffs. And they're doing it every week in the playoffs. And then it's even harder to do when it's snowing as aggressively as it was. And then factor in how much adversity was getting thrown their way. A.J. Brown had a couple of rough drops. One right before half. That would have been a touchdown. That would have been a touchdown. It would have put you right there, right around the goal line, right before half. That drive, if you remember, started off almost as a conceded drive. You're conceding. We'll punt it away. We'll try and play the let's stop them before half game, knowing the Rams get the ball back for the second half. And the Rams brought a blitz as Jalen dumps it off to Saquon Barkley to his right in the end zone. And they had a couple screen passes work in this game. I haven't seen a screen pass work since 1963. We got a couple of those. And now that drive that was going to be all right, we'll punt it and just see if our defense could get a stop before half, turns into it should have been down at the 1 or 2 yard line, but A.J. missed it. That was after A.J. already missed a first down catch when Jalen put it on the money with a beautiful rope through traffic. He dropped that too. So they were dealing with stuff. Nick Sirianni's message all week was, we're going to have to handle the adversity. And some questioned why he would even make a statement like that, because he's at home against the Rams. What adversity? Well, he knew, and he had his team ready for it. It's a big deal. It's a good job from Coach. Week 4 of this NFL season, I wanted Nick Sirianni fired. After that bye week, I didn't know what to expect from the head coach. I questioned what his worth was. Well, let me tell you something. We have an incredible head coach here. We truly do have an incredible head coach here. How many times did you hear, oh, Sean McVay? I'd take Sean McVay over Nick. I'll take Stafford over Nick. We have a damn good head coach here.